whenever you enter into an industry, you must ask yourself the critical question of the industry you're going into. What's the problem you're solving? If you're solving the problem, then you have a business.
You're speaking right now about your knock.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the knock? Oh, the
Who's there?
Yeah.
Well, basically, I've been in the construction industry for quite a while, and with God's favor, I ended up working under Qatar Construction in Dubai. You know, so I won't go into details of what happened, but things didn't end well. You know, in that contract. You know, and the one thing that I foresaw, it's one was mentorship, and the other was financial literacy. Yeah. You know, I didn't know how to manage my finances well. Yeah. You know, and hence, you know, the knock that I took. You know, had I had better financial literacy, I would have had savings. You know, that would have lasted me for a year, 2 years while I get on my feet. Yeah. So yeah, those were just one of the experiences.
Where wako from overseas just helped you with Ilondonzana with the importance of being mentored?
Yes.
And how has that assisted you to get to where you are in terms of business right now?
It's actually it's a brilliant question that you asked. That it's actually shaped my thinking way differently. You know, I found out that there's a wider spectrum to business. You know, you can have a core business, but you can venture into multiple other streams of businesses. Sure. You know, and the one thing that I learned having a mentor is that the average millionaire has 7 sources of income. You know, and it prompts you as a businessman to think, what else? What other income can I get? What other revenue streams can I dab into? And a mentor can sort of guide you into answering those questions. You know, into guiding you, into warning you not to go into that industry, or do go into that industry. So yeah, definitely mentorship. I am for it. I'm for it 100%. Yeah.
Let me just recall one of our conversations we had. We were speaking about hundreds of millions, right? Dreaming about them, right?
Yes.
But it just seems that there's been a time where you let go of financial fear type of thing, you know, because everyone you would just as a person, you kind of rate yourself in terms of the finances that you've got. But what broke the barrier of not being scared of
finances?
Yes, of finances.
Of figures.
Of figures, yeah.
Okay. It's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever thought about it. Well, I can say working overseas has definitely lowered that fear of finances, of figures, that you're dealing with hundreds of millions or hundreds of thousands. You know, definitely it has, I can say it has worked into my advantage of not being afraid of numbers. But I think if I can take it back home to a much more closer experience, is that yabona lento yokuthi usaba abantu ukuthi bazothina.
Yes.
You know, I think that's the biggest downfall kithina abantu abamnyama who want to get ahead in business. And that's the one thing that I had to come to when I took my knock is going back home. You know, because I have a home. You know, there's nothing wrong with starting all over again. You know, just because usbanban uzothi buku sewili.
Yes.
You know, he was a multi millionaire. He was a multi whatever.
And now he's a multi-centennial.
He's a multi-centennial. You know, that's the thing that I'm getting at, is that, you know,
liking this video, why don't you hit the red button, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos.
let's get back to the video.
The fear of ukuthi abantu bazothini really holds us back, you know, and it just perpetuates, or rather it focuses on what's the next big contract that I'm gonna get.
Sure.
Finally ngithole leli tender at 10 million, so people can see that I'm back in the game.
Yo.
You know, so I think me going back home has really just stripped me off that pressure of
Sure.
of saying, you know what, you are competing with Phiwo.
Yes.
You're not competing with Untlaga.
Yep.
Or the production team.
Yep.
You know, so it's your own race at the end of the day.
Yep.
You know, so you have to be comfortable in that. Yeah.
That's incredible, bro.
Yeah.
And what are some of the other business ventures you're looking at?
Well, another interesting question. I don't want to give away too much.
It's okay.
But you know, the agricultural sector is huge, you know, in South Africa right now at the moment.
Sure.
I'd urge, you know, anyone listening, any of the viewers, to, you know, research, see how you can be part of the game, you know, in that industry, because it's I think it's about 3.5 billion rand industry right now.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's very
3.5 billion.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a multi-billion industry. So there's definitely space, yeah,
Sure.
you know, to get into that. You know, the other things that I've seen is definitely IT. When I'm speaking IT, I'm speaking of your office parks. Office parks usually require ID cards, you know, to get scanned in, or whatever, you know, programming those type of things.
Yes.
I think they call it IPs.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can sell that, you know. Which other industry would I recommend?
Fashion?
Definitely not fashion. Definitely not fashion. It's such a concentrated industry.
Yeah.
Unless you're a celebrity, you flourish.
Yeah.
You'll flourish. I think those are one of the things that I've seen trending.
Yeah.
You know. But besides listening to me, do your research.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you must know what's happening around you in order for you to make an informed decision.
Yeah.
You know, because earlier when I got into business, it was the whole trend of I'm a tend.
Yes.
You know. Yeah, I was like, yeah, showcase.
Tenderpreneur.
Yeah, tenderpreneur. I'm there.
Yep.
You know, miseducated as I was. You know, and that, you know, had setbacks. Had I learned a specific industry that I wanted to get into, I would be much further. You know, so don't just start a business because you're starting a business.
Yeah, interesting thing. What do you think about the tenderpreneur business?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with tenders.
Sure.
There's absolutely nothing wrong. The only thing that I would change in tenders is that